Now, this is an eye-opener. Most Americans are not making enough money to afford the basic costs of living.
Inflation has been moderating in recent months, but prices are still nearly 24% higher than at the start of the pandemic.
In our series, The Cost of Living, Americans are telling us about their struggles to make ends meet.
I can't afford to live here anymore. I can't afford to live here anymore. I just spent 6 hours of my life serving tables, running around to make $50. And I already know the comments are going to be like, well, get a better job. I'm trying. I moved here 3 weeks ago. I've sent out over 100 resumes. I've had one interview. I didn't get the job. I knew I blew it. I did not get the job. I'm trying. The only reason why I got a server job is to make some money while I'm trying to get my big girl job again so I can get checks that actually matter. So I can make money I can actually live off of. But nobody calls. Nobody's calling for these jobs. Indeed is, we're hiring. Or where? Okay, because I sent my resume and I can't afford anything. Okay, I live with my son and his roommates right now, and I'm very thankful for that, but I need my own place and I can't afford it. I can't afford anything. I cannot afford to live here anymore.
2025. Welcome to the year the American dream officially collapsed. Forget the slogans. Forget the headlines about strong job growth. The truth? Millions of working Americans can't even afford food, shelter, or to keep the lights on. And while politicians brag about stock market records, families are living in conditions that would have been unthinkable just a generation ago. Walk with me because I'm about to show you how everyday life in America is falling apart piece by piece. Let's start with the numbers, because numbers don't sugarcoat, politicians do. In 2025, wages crept up just 4.1%. Sounds okay until you check the bills. Electricity, up 5.8%. Natural gas, up 13.8%. Food at home, up 2.4%. Put it all together and you realize your paycheck is moving at a crawl while your utilities and groceries are running laps around you. That's not moderate inflation. That's a quiet, relentless squeeze on the middle class.
I want to know how people are surviving because...
Now, here's the kicker. Nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense without selling something, borrowing, or maxing out another credit card. That's almost half the country one flat tire away from financial freefall. This isn't some abstract statistic tucked away in a government PDF. This is your neighbors, your coworkers, maybe even you. Think about it. The cost of survival has been rigged so high that even when you get a raise, you're still falling behind. It's like climbing a broken escalator that keeps pulling you down, no matter how hard you push forward. That's the trap. The economy isn't booming. It's booming for shareholders, for corporations, for the elite. For everyone else, it's a systematic downgrade of daily life.
New Jersey is such a scam, and it is pushing people out of their homes, and it is so irritating. Not only are the home prices skyrocketing, taxes are unbearable, but now they whack you with these incredible, unrealistic electric bill costs, and we're going to talk about it. I just got our electric bill from Atlantic City Electric. That is who is our electric company, and it was $985.
So if you're anything like me, just a normal person with a normal job in this shit-ass economy that can't afford anything these days except your bare necessities.
Now, let's talk about the roof over your head, or, in this case, the lack of one. By 2025, the median U.S. rent has surged nearly 55% in just the past decade, jumping from about $2,550 in 2015 to over $2,100 today. And in many cities, it's even worse. The American dream used to start with buying a modest home. Today, it starts with praying your landlord doesn't hike the rent again. And here's the nightmare. 40% of homeless Americans actually have jobs. Let that sink in. We're not talking about the unemployed or those living on the system. We're talking about people clocking in 40 to 60 hours a week, sleeping in cars, couch surfing, or pitching tents because their paycheck doesn't stretch far enough. Look at the tent cities popping up across the country. Los Angeles, Seattle, Austin. These aren't temporary camps. They're entire communities of working people who can't afford rent. And here's the cold reality. There isn't a single state, not Mississippi, not Ohio, not anywhere, where a federal minimum wage worker can afford a simple 2-bedroom apartment. That fact alone tells you everything. Housing in America isn't shelter anymore. It's a luxury item. and millions are locked out.
The first month I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities, a couch, a bed, washer, a dryer. That's about it. A car.
Food and power, two things you literally can't live without, have turned into luxury items in 2025. Families are posting online about skipping meals so their kids can eat.
It's pathetic that I can't even cook my children a meal tonight because I can't afford it. I went to the grocery and one pack of hamburger was $17, just enough to make like 4 patties. What in the hell is going on?
One mother admitted, "I eat every third day." Another said she's down to 1 meal a day just to make the grocery budget last. And this isn't fringe. Food banks across the country are serving 50% more families than just 3 years ago, and many of those families have full-time jobs. Think about that. Working people lining up for food assistance like it's the new normal.
I don't know who's out here living the American dream, but I can tell you one person who isn't, and that's me. I have 4 kids, and I'm working 3 jobs, and I'm still struggling. My full-time job, I'm a 911 dispatcher. My other 2 jobs, a waitress. The American dream should not be this hard. I should not have to be working my life away, being away from my kids. You know, sometimes I have to pick, am I going to pay my electric bill or am I going to buy groceries? Because my kids need to eat. This is not the American dream. I'm so tired of struggling. You know, so many people are going to work, working multiple jobs just to pay for a house to sleep in, just to put their head down at night. This is not the American dream, not my American dream.
And utilities? Don't even get me started. People are opening electric bills for $800, even $1,100 for a regular home.
$830.27. Anybody want to guess what that is? You won't guess, so I'm just going to share it with you. That is my electric bill this month. Okay, full disclosure, that is less than last month. Our bill last month was $1,130.98. I'm sorry, it's insane.
2 years ago, that same bill was $200 to $300. Nothing changed except the price tag. Meanwhile, utility companies are posting record profits, smiling on investor calls, while ordinary Americans have to choose between paying the power bill or buying groceries. This isn't an inconvenience, it's survival roulette. Keep the lights on or feed the kids. Charge your phone or fill the fridge. When basic necessities become financial death traps, the so-called strong economy is nothing but smoke and mirrors. For years, we were told, if you're struggling, just get a side hustle. But in 2025, even the hustles are collapsing. Skilled tradespeople, the handymen, the yard workers, the electricians, are now going weeks without a single job. One man said he hadn't booked work in 14 days straight, despite good reviews and plenty of clicks. Why? Because Americans are broke. They're patching things themselves, skipping repairs, or just letting stuff rot. That's not ingenuity. That's desperation. This collapse isn't limited to individuals. It's hitting the backbone of the U.S. economy. Small businesses across the Rust Belt, the Great Plains, and suburban America are shuttering because customers simply don't have disposable income anymore. The local diner, the family-owned auto shop, the neighborhood landscaper, they're all taking hits. Not because demand disappeared, but because wallets did. And here's the cruel irony. While small businesses die, corporate giants survive. Amazon, Walmart, the mega chains, they can slash prices, squeeze suppliers, and still walk away profitable. The local guy, he can't compete, and he can't survive when people are counting pennies. So when even side hustlers and small businesses can't scrape by, that's not resilience failing. That's the American economy flatlining at the street level. Let's talk about the cost that doesn't show up on a balance sheet. The mental collapse. Because when your fridge is empty, your rent is late, and your electric company is breathing down your neck, you don't just lose money, you lose hope. People are lying awake at night, not because of Netflix binges, but because they're calculating which bill to pay and which one to skip. That isn't budgeting. That's survival math. Parents admit they're eating scraps or skipping meals entirely so their kids can have dinner. College graduates with good jobs are lining up at food banks. Families are comparing notes online about which bills you can safely ignore. Your credit card, your medical bill, maybe even your car payment. Like dodging debt, has become some kind of modern life hack. That's not resilience. That's desperation dressed up as strategy. And here's the real kicker. This level of stress literally shortens lives. Anxiety, depression, untreated medical issues, they're all skyrocketing. Children raised in food-insecure households face permanent developmental challenges. Adults under constant economic stress die younger. This isn't just an economic crisis, it's a trauma epidemic. And we're normalizing it like it's just the way things are now. Let's stop pretending the American dream just faded away. It didn't slip quietly into the night, it was murdered. And the fingerprints are everywhere. For decades, policies have been designed to protect profits, not people. Shareholders got bailouts, while workers got pink slips. Corporations lobbied for tax breaks, while families begged for relief. The result? A country where working full-time no longer guarantees food, shelter, or stability. We're told this is just inflation or market cycles. That's the lie. This isn't a cycle. It's a structural downgrade of the middle class. When 40% of homeless Americans are employed, when families making six figures are still struggling to cover basics, when skipping medical care is the new normal, that's not a hiccup, that's collapse. And the sickest part? Leaders still stand on podiums bragging about job growth and stock market highs, while millions live paycheck to paycheck, some literally sleeping in cars. The disconnect is staggering. So let's call it what it is. The American dream wasn't lost. It was stolen. And until we admit that, until we stop pretending everything is fine, more families will keep sliding into third world conditions in the world's wealthiest nation.